Good morning, all. Are you able to listen? My voice is audible. Is my voice is audible and screen is visible? Kindly respond. Is the screen visible? Answer to my question. Okay. So this is the video lecture on DA. So we are currently discussing with non-recursive algorithms. So under non-recursive algorithms in the yesterday class, we have gone with finding the maximum element and also unique element. So unique means different elements. How to find the unique elements, that we have gone with two examples in the yesterday's class. Now you come for the third example. So, so third example in today's class, we are going to see two examples. One is matrix multiplication and other one is matrix multiplication and binary search. Okay, so binary search and matrix multiplication are the examples what we are going to see. Okay, so come for this particular session. So first, what is our algorithm name? Algorithm name is matrix multiplication. So in order to multiply the two matrices, how many matrices? Multiply the matrix, how many matrices we need? So we need two matrices, that in two matrices are A and B. So inside the A, you will be having, it is a two-dimensional matrix. Okay, so 0 to n minus 1, we call it as row. 0 to n minus 1, we call it as column. And for here also B. So for B, we take this one as 0 to n minus 1, we call it as row. And 0 to n minus 1, we call it as column. Okay, so that's the concept. So input to n cross n. So n cross n means n rows and n columns matrices A and B. So what is the matrix output? Output matrix C is equal to AB. So how you are going to range? So we are going to range in terms of I and J. I for row, J for column. Okay. So then we multiply ith row of A with jth column of B. So how you calculate the matrix multiplication? Matrix multiplication will be represented in terms of row into column. So first row into first column, first row into second column, if it is there, like that. Okay. So for that, for rows and columns, we will take two loop variables, I and J. So I is ranging from 0 to n minus 1. J is ranging from 0 to n minus 1, and the final array, the final array is C of ij, two input arrays. one first input array is A of ij, second input array is B of ij, and final output array is C. So C we take it as C of ij is equal to 0.0. Okay, so now you multiply. How you perform a matrix multiplication? It will be so A of ik star B of kj. So A of ik means so I row, B of kj means it is the jth column. So row into column we are adding. So finally result we are storing it in C of ij. Okay. So can you now tell what are this I and j represent? So what are this I and j represent? Chat in the chat box. What does I and j represent? We have taken two variables I and j. So what does I and j called? For what purpose we are using I and j? So answer to the question. We are taking I and j. So for what purpose I and j are used? So I and j are used for rows and columns. Okay, good. So I and j we are going to use it for rows and columns. So now that one we are going to see here is the representation. So ik into k b of kj. So c of ij is equal to a of I0 b0j a of ik to bkj. This is a diagrammatic representation taken. So a is represented for row I and b is represented for column j. So a into b will give you to c of ij. So this is the code for matrix multiplication. Now we shall see its best, worst, and average case exist. Okay, so come for the analysis here. Write the programming part. For loops, all the for loops you write. I is ranging lower limit 0 to upper limit n minus 1. J is ranging from lower limit 0 to upper limit n minus 1. K is ranging from 0 to n minus 1. And this is the statement. How many for loops you are having here? So what is the limit formula? So kindly type it. What is the limit formula? So if you are having the for loops, you will apply the limits, right? So how will be the limit formula? Good. Limit formula is upper limit minus lower limit plus 1. So how many for loops you are having? 3 for loops. Now you come for here. So summation. One for loop, you will get one summation. So totally 3 for loops, you will get 3 summations. I is ranging from 0 to n minus 1. J is ranging from 0 to n minus 1. K is ranging from 0 to n minus 1, 1. So whatever statement you are having, you leave that particular thing. Only the for loops will come into the concept. Okay. So for loops are 3. So limits are same 0 to n minus 1. So now you substitute. So on substituting n minus 1 minus 0 plus 1, what you will get when you substitute for this part? So when you substitute for this part, what is the k? So k part, upper limit is n minus 1 minus lower limit is 0. And what is the number? It is plus 1. So n minus 1 plus 1 will give you what? It will give you n. So you can see here, I have written how you get n. This is the sequence. So upper limit n minus 1 minus 0 plus 1. N minus 1 minus 0 will give you n minus 1. N minus 1 plus 1 will get cancelled. So finally you get n. Are you understanding? So that's why here we have written n. So when you apply this part, n minus 1 plus 1, you will get it n only. Okay. So now you come for the next one. So here, J loop. So J loop, what you are getting? N minus 1 minus 0 plus n. So when you go for the jth loop, so jth loop, what you will get? So under jth loop, you will get, what is the upper limit? Upper limit is n minus 1. What is the lower limit? Minus 0. Next, you will get it as plus n. So n minus 1. So n minus 1 minus 0 will get you. So n minus 1 plus n. So when you have n minus 1 plus n, it is called as a 2n. So 2n, we take it as n square. Keep this one in your mind. So n minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 2n. 2n is similar to n square. So that's why we have given it as n power 2. So you can go through this particular for J loop. So it is n minus 1 minus 0 plus n. So that will be taken as n minus 1 plus n is equal to 2n, similar to n square. Okay. So now you substitute for the ith loop. So coming for the ith loop, what you can tell? What you have got? N square. So what is the upper limit? N minus 1 minus 0 plus n to the power square. So what you will be getting? N minus 1 plus n square. So what you will get? You will represent only the n. So we take it as 2 power n power 3. So that is the result. You can have it. So n cube. So that's why we can write what is the algorithmic analysis of the matrix multiplication. It is n power 3. So leave this particular. It's not so required. So you can only write the final answer as n to the power 3. Okay, so have you understood this matrix multiplication? So many. If you are not understood, kindly ask me again. So I can repeat. If not, I will continue with the next one. Understood? Shall I continue with the next one? Okay, now you come for the next one, binary. So how to represent? So what is the binary? So here we are going with a representing the binary representation of a decimal number. So binary of n. So can you tell, anybody can tell what is the binary value of 2? What is binary value of 2? 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay. 0, 1, 0. Okay. Is it correct? 0, 1, 0 of 2. 0, 0. You can represent using 3-bit or 4-bit. It doesn't matter. But I want is 0. Okay. 0, 1, 0 is the binary number for decimal integer 2. Okay. So now we shall go with this particular thing. This program is going to convert a decimal number into binary number. So it is a program to convert decimal number into binary. So, okay. So now we shall go with this particular thing. So positive, what is the input you give? A positive decimal integer n. So we are giving a positive decimal integer n. What is the output you will be getting? The number of binary digits. So can you tell what is this digit level means? So digits means what? Answer here, digit, binary digits they have asked you. I'm not taking binary digit, just tell which are the digits we have. Zeros. Sorry, I'm asking you digits, not binary digits, only the digits. 0 and 1, or I'm asking you again, tell only the digits. Good. Digits are 0 to 9. 10 is will go a number, but 0 to 9 is digits. So coming for the binary digits. Binary digits means you have told it is 0 and 1. Okay. So number of binary digits. So how many digits you will be getting? It is either 3, or number of binary digits will be 3 or 4. Because you are representing here it as 0, 0, 1, 0. The number of binary digits are 3. If you represent it in 0010, number of binary digits will be 4. Okay. So count, you take it, number of binary digits you have to represent. That will be the output. So count will be 1. If n is greater than 1, what is the n? It is the positive integer you take. Okay. It should be greater than 1. You should start with 2, 3 like that. Because it is greater than 1, if n is greater than 1, count, then count plus 1. So count will be initially what? It will be before reading the input n. So count will be 1. Once you read the input n, so increment the count. So count, then count plus 1. Now in order to convert, what you will do? N by 2. Because you want it in binary, you can convert the given integer n into n by 2. So n divided into n by 2 will give you the value. So that's why in order to convert a decimal number, what is the sequence? So in order to convert dec to, so convert the decimal to binary. So what is the formula you have? So convert the given number n is equal to n divided by 2. So this is the formula you can use for converting a decimal to binary. So what is the whatever the decimal number you take, you make it divided by 2. So that will make you to convert the decimal into binary. So this is the formula return count. Okay. So basic operation. What is the basic operation you are doing here? So basic operation is count is equal to count plus 1. Count is equal to count plus 1 keeps on repeating. So that's why we take it as, here we have taken no for loop is there. That's why we have taken while here. So if it is while is there, for the by in order to convert, so you can take it as n by 2. So n by 2, the representation is given as log n plus 1. So number of instruction is 1. The count will be keep on incrementing until n, until the last digit, until n, it keeps on calculating. That's why we give it as log n plus 1. So what is the basic operation we are going to do it here? It is not n into n by 2. So it is count is equal to count plus 1. So count is equal to count plus 1 is the concept, what operation we are going to do it. So in order to make it binary, so we take count plus 1. So keep on counting until n log n plus 1, the number of times. So this is the binary. What is the basic operation? We take it as log n plus 1. So log n plus 1 is the worst case or best case or average case. So that is the concept. You can take it here. So remember how to do for the most of the case you will get for loop, but very rare case you will get like this while. So while also it will come only for binary. So that is only for this particular part. Okay. So have you understood up to here? So you keep this one, we are not taking n then n by 2. You have to go with count then count plus 1. This is the common operation we are going to do. So as the count is there, then you divide that number into 2. So this will be executed after the count. So basic operation is count. So count plus 1 will be given as log n plus 1. So count means when the count will be happen when n is greater than 1. Yeah, so that's why we give it as log n plus 1. So when n is greater than 1, count will happen. So in place of count, you place n. So okay. So that is n plus 1. So n plus 1 will be represented as log n plus 1. Because why you are taking log? Because it will be in binary representation. Okay, so binary representation, you go with a logarithmic. Okay, so got it? Got it? Kindly reply. Okay, so this is up to non-recursive algorithms. So now that is up to mathematical analysis of non-recursive algorithms we have studied. Now you come for the fifth topic, mathematical analysis of recursive algorithm. So which are the recursive algorithm? Can you name some? Which are the recursive algorithms we have seen in data structures? Recursive algorithm. Name some. We have seen in the data structure stack recursion. So under recursion, we have gone with some concepts. So which are those? Factorial. Next, Fibonacci series. Next, Tower of Hanoi. Then only this. Only three you have told. Factorial, Fibonacci, Tower of Hanoi. Apart from that, okay. So before going for the recursive algorithms, now we shall treat traversal. Okay. Hmm. So before going for the problems, now you concentrate on steps. So can you remember the steps for the, non-recursive? So same steps you will be having. 1, 2, 3 will be same, but fourth and fifth will be different. So three steps. First is decide the input size. Next, identify the basic operation. Check whether how many times the number of times the basic operation is executed. So these three steps will be common for the recursive and non-recursive. Next, after that, now you set up a recurrence relation and solve the recurrence. So totally 5 steps. First will be input size. Second, basic operation. Check whether the number of times the basic operation is executed. Set up recurrence and solve the recurrence. So these are the 5 steps. Out of 5 steps, 3 steps are common for both recursive and non-recursive. Understood? So these are the words you keep remember. First is input size. Second, basic operation. Third, check number of times the basic operation. Fourth, recurrence. Fifth, solve the recurrence. So these are the 5 steps what you are having for analysis of recursive algorithm. So now you come for the first example. So which is the first example you have listed here? So it is factorial. So what is the formula for factorial of a function f of n? So what is the formula you have? N factorial is equal to n into n minus 1 factorial. Keep this one in your mind. So what is the factorial formula you have? It is 1 dot 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 up to n minus 1 into n. So that's why we give it as n into n minus 1 factorial for n greater than or equal to 1. Understood? So 0 factorial is equal to 1. So we can compute. So n factorial, we have taken it as n will be taken it as f of n. So that we are representing it as f of n minus 1 into n. So keep in your mind, what is n factorial? So n factorial, we are considering it as f, we are considering it as f of n. So keep this one in your mind. So now you substitute n factorial is being taken as f of n. Now n minus 1 factorial will be taken as what? So what will be n minus 1 factorial? What is n minus 1 factorial? If n factorial is f of n, what is n minus 1 factorial? Answer in the chat box. Just you go through this. So if n factorial is equal to f of n, what is the similarity you have? This is n factorial, this is n minus 1 factorial. So in place of n, you are having n minus 1. So what will be the answer? Answer will be f of n minus 1. Okay, you are good. Shankar and Neha. So if it is f of n minus 1. So that's why we are telling it is f of n minus 1 into n with the following recursive algorithm. So how to write the recursive algorithm? This is the algorithm we have taken. So input a non-negative integer n, output the value of n factorial. So 0 factorial, what is 0 factorial? Can you tell? What is 0 factorial? 0 factorial is 1. Okay, so that's why we are taking it. If n is equal to 0, what you will do? F of n. So in place of n, you substitute 0. So 0 factorial is equal to 1. So many have given the value 1. So 0 factorial, if n is equal to 0, return 1. So else, return f of n minus 1 into n. So same thing what we have written here. So as you know, f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 into n. So same thing we are representing here. If n is equal to 0, return 1, else return f of n minus 1 into n. Okay, so now you come for the, this is the algorithm. What is the input here? Input size is n. What is the output? It is n factorial. How many times the output will be executed? That you have to find out here. Okay, so yeah, so take the same thing. In place of f of n, they have written m of n. F of n minus 1. F of n minus 1, we take it as m of n minus 1. Just you replace f with m. Okay, so f you are writing m of n minus 1. Dot, we are taking it as plus 1. You have to, in place of n, you have to go with 1. Okay, so why you should place, in place of n, you should place 1. So because that 1, this is the formula for n greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so that's why we give 1 year to multiply f of n minus 1 by n for n greater than 0. For n greater than 0, this is the formula you take. So m of n is equal to m of n minus 1 plus 1. So this is the recurrence relation. So, I am telling you, so what is the recurrence relation? So recurrence relation is m of n is equal to m of n minus 1 plus 1. So how you get this particular thing? That you using this particular formula. So how you get this particular formula? From using this word. So keep remember, n factorial will be given as n minus 1 factorial into n. Similarly, in place of n factorial, you put f of n. So f of n is equal to n factorial. So n minus 1 factorial will be f of n minus 1 into n. So substitute the same thing here. In place of f, you write m. So m of n is equal to m of n minus 1. Dot will be represented as plus 1. So this is the formula. So recurrence relation will be given like this. So for seeing that, you can write m of n is equal to m of n minus 1 plus 1. But m of 0 is equal to 0. Okay. So if it is greater than 0, we have taken it as if it is greater than 0, it is m of n minus 1 plus 1. If it is 0, what is the case? 0 factorial will be 0 only. So m of 0 is equal to 0. Substitute here. 0 minus 1 plus 1. 0 minus 1 is minus 1 plus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 will get cancelled. You will get it as 0 only. So this is the recurrence relation. So you can use backward substitution method to solve this. So how comes the backwards representation? You see, take this particular formula. M of n is equal to m of n minus 1 plus 1. Okay. So substitute m of n minus 1 is equal to m of n minus 2 plus 1. So on substituting, what you will get? So recurrence you have to go through. So you substitute m of n minus 1 jagಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೀರಾ m of n minus 2 plus 1. So this is your substitute, plus 1 remains same. So m of n minus 2 plus 2. So now for m of n minus 2, you substitute m of n minus 3 plus 1. Just you keep on increasing 1. For 1, you keep 2 plus 1. For 2 minus 2, you give minus 3 plus 1. So that's you can write it minus 3 plus 1 plus 2. So that will give in m of n minus 3 plus 3. So up to finally, you will be writing it as m of n minus I plus m minus I plus I. So go for this particular sequence. 2 will be represented as I. Okay. So m of n minus I plus I is equal to m of n minus n plus n. So that will give you n. So we can use the recurrence relation to calculate, to derive n. What is n? N is nothing but n factorial. Okay. So n factorial, you have got it as n. So I understood this particular thing. Understood how to write the recurrence relation for factorial. So this is the, if you want it again, I will explain it. If any doubts, shall I explain again? Just tell me, another 4 minutes left. Any doubts? Any doubts you are having? Okay. So I take this one. So, but the thing is, from this recurrence, this is the relation, and this one is the recurrence relation. So go for this one step. So first is the input para. So can you tell what is the input size? So for the factorial, what is the input size? I want the answer now if you have understood. So for the factorial, what is the input size? So answer it soon. What is the input size for the factorial? Input size only one, others? Okay. Input size is n. Okay. So what is the basic operation? What is the basic operation in our factorial? Can you tell what is the basic operation? So basic operation is, so I will tell you, just go through input size. Input size is n because n is the value what we are going to give. What is the basic operation? Basic operation is this one, n into n minus 1 factorial. So how many times the statement will be executed, that you have to go with input size n. So basic operation is n into n minus 1 factorial. Okay, so next, check whether the number of times the basic operation is executed. How many times the basic operation will be executed, that you have to check. So if, so suppose you given the value 2, 2 factorial is 2 into 1 factorial. So 1 will be 1 factorial is equal to 1 into 1 factorial is equal to what? 1 into 1 0 minus 1 factorial, 1 minus 1. So 0 you will get 1 only. So for 2 factorial, how many times it is executed? 2 times. So that is the number of times. So reconciliation m of n is equal to m of n minus 1 plus 1. And solving the reconciliation is this one. To solve the reconciliation, we use this one. Understood? Okay, I hope you enjoy this particular class. So here I am ending the session. So thank you all. Continue in the next class. So I will be ending this class. Thank you all.